Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be back. I hope you all had a good winter break. I know I did. I took some time off to spend with my kids, and it actually was one of the best winter holidays that I have had as an adult. And so it really segues well with the topic that you all voted for me to talk about today, which is how to be more present in your parenting. So I just got back from really unplugging. I was on social media a little bit, I checked my emails a little bit, but for the most part, I was completely unplugged with the intention of being able to connect with my kids because I had them for about 3 weeks straight. Their dad was out of the country, so I had them for 3 weeks straight, which was fantastic. And so I really wanted to make the most of this time with them. And so I came up with a few tips on how to be more present in your parenting. So the first thing is shifting your expectations. So one thing that I did is I have had a morning routine for a few years now, almost 3 years. And I have a tendency to be really rigid with my routines because I do function really well with routines, but I often become almost too rigid, so there's not much fluidity in my life. So if the routine itself is not followed through perfectly, then I feel like, oh, well, what was the whole point? So for example, in my morning routine, I like to do a workout, I like to journal, and I like to meditate. So if, for example, during the break, I didn't get a meditation in or a journal, but I worked out, it would be like, oh, well, what was the point of the morning routine because I only did one thing? So instead, during this break, and I think it will continue, I figured out what my priority was as far as my morning routine. So my priority was to do a workout because that helps me both mentally and physically to relieve stress and also just to move my body so that it feels like it's functioning properly. And this was amazing. So maybe I journaled once during that time and I meditated, I don't know, 50% of the time. And that was okay. I was okay with it and then working out is something that I can completely do with my kids being awake. So that was one thing I did. And so that was kind of shifting expectations. So that was my routines, and then talking about what the priority is with the routines. Like, why do you have those routines, and where can they be some fluidity? And so the other thing that I wanted to talk about is I really worked on saying yes to them. So, Mom, you want to go play outside? Mom, you want to go on a walk? Mom, will you come play this game with me? Will you come play this with this new toy? Can we go ice skating? And I just really tried hard to say yes, because you know what? The dishes can get cleaned later. The floor can get vacuumed later. All of those things don't matter. What matters is being present with my kids in that moment. So that's one thing I did. I worked really, really hard to say yes. And so a lot of times in those situations, so during normal life, when I'm not on vacation, I will try to kind of alternate. So saying yes, and then, okay, I will do that after I finish this task. And then, okay, I'm going to do that, but after that, I'm going to do this task that, a household thing. And then I also incorporate them into a lot of the household things now, because my kids are 9 and 6 now, so they can legitimately help me. So they'll help me fold laundry, or they'll help me vacuum or help me mop, those sort of things, sweep. Shovel snow. So kind of incorporating them, if you have older kids, is another way to be present, because some of those things are fun for them. And then the other thing is that I notice, and this is a tool that I actually talked to one of my coaching clients yesterday about, and it's a tool that I utilize when I'm meditating. So a lot of times people struggle when they're meditating they start thinking. So you're meditating, and then you're thinking about life or something else, and then you're meditating, and then you're thinking, and that, which is totally normal. But a lot of times when I'm meditating and I start thinking, instead of just being in my body and mind while I'm meditating, I call it out. So thinking, and then I'll come back to the meditating. But you can do this in regular life too. So let's say you're on a walk with your kids, or you're playing on the floor with the kids, you're driving in the car with the kids. You can and you start spinning, thinking about, oh, I like the things that you need to do, or the places that you need to go, or the person that you need to call, you can just say, thinking, and bring yourself back to that moment, and like hearing your kids giggle, or your kids are maybe asking a question or telling a story, and bringing yourself back. So those are just a few tools that I've been using, especially during this holiday vacation that I was on, and I think I'm going to continue using them, and they were really helpful. So I hope that's really helpful for you. And let me know if you have any follow-up questions. I'd love to answer them. And I will be back on Monday with a Q&A session. So there will be a post, I think, coming up later on today where you can post questions, or you can post them in the event. That's for Monday at noon. So it's better for me if you actually ask questions. So it could be anything. It could be health, wealth, exercise, moving your body, morning routines, career, business, relationships, anything that you want. I'm here. Oils. So definitely post your questions, and I will do my best to answer them. Have a great weekend. Bye.